Shokji and all masters. Today we'll talk about some practical, some solution in terms of, without getting into the allopathy side, and I will share some of my results, my own experiment. So you would see that if we understand, and we also understand how to avoid it, then you can prevent certain things. And that is the whole purpose of this wisdom sharing, that not just you understand the topic, but make use in your life. And then when you do, well, share with others, because everybody's experience is unique, and we can add to the wisdom that we have. And this way we, like a snowball effect, we keep improving or keep increasing the different ways of doing things, and this way it helps everyone. So I'll share my screen. Okay. So we will recap what we had discussed before. So this way, those masters who are joining it for the first time in this particular topic, that means if they have missed last two sessions, they will find it easier to connect and be with us in the discussion. So we talked about health at the very early stage in 19 say in this case 48, the first time the World Health Organization, it kind of clarified that health is not just absence of disease. So from there it started that, okay, health is much more than absence of disease, means you're talking physical, mental, social element. And then they kept on improving in the sense adding the capacity, not just physical but mental and our social thing, that what is needed for our meaningful life. So not just, okay, there is no pain means I'm healthy. No, are you able to do what you would like to do? So there are other elements that indicates. So if we look at just physical health, we can look at from your physical activity perspective. If you love walking, jogging, hiking, whatever, whether work or otherwise, are you able to do this or not? Physical health includes big time the nutrition and diet element to it. Any kind of misuse, and not just alcohol, drugs, but sometimes it could be as simple as sugar and salt. So it, anything in excess could be harmful. So when we are talking about health, rest or sleep is extremely critical, especially during the student life. This is something that we neglect. Sometimes we think that, okay, if I can work extra hours in the evening, if I can work late in the night, I can get more done. And you feel healthy. So you say, hey, 4 hours of sleep is good enough. I'm a strong person. But what we are doing is we have already started damaging our health. It may be visible much later in the life, but the process has already started. Now, though we are talking physical health here, just keep it in mind, we'll be going next to mental health. Though the result is coming on physical, but remember, this is your thought. This is what you are tuning your brain. Hence, it is mental and emotional as well. So that means the root cause here is that you have somehow convinced that 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep is good for me. And that thought or the thought process or combination is resulting in less hours of sleep, means lack of sleep, means physically your body is not able to regenerate. Now, when we talk about mental health, now here in general, it may be referred to your emotional, social, psychological well-being, all kind of combined. Now, it is an important as, or you may say more important than your physical health. Because for your active life throughout, it's not like when you are young. Mental health is needed throughout your life. That means when you're young, when you're in the middle age, or during your old age. It's really important. So sometimes it is much harder to either define or appreciate. Like if you're talking about someone else or seeing someone going through certain things, it may be difficult because physical condition is easy to understand, appreciate. But when it comes to psychological, when it comes about things you cannot see, sometimes our perception comes in between. Sometimes we may have biasness, sometimes we may have no knowledge about it. And that is where some difficulty of appreciating comes. Now, when we are talking about mental health, we are talking about your ability to process information. That means the ability to think. If you can think clearly, you can make good decisions, you will be happy. You can manage, you can cope up with your stress, you can manage your emotions. So ability to think clearly is key here. Now, you may get symptoms before you end up having some things. If you are able to recognize, you may be able to understand what's going on. A person is feeling sad, confused, excessive fear or worries or mood swings, withdrawal. You are between your friends or family, but still you feel alone, or you just totally, you be there, but you're disconnected. So low energy and all this moods and sadness, if you are able to link and understand, you may fix the issue. Otherwise, this goes on for a long time, and then it creates bigger problem because now it is over a period, just like, we have chronic issues. Now, mental health and emotional health. There is a subtle difference, though people put everything under mental health, but emotional, there is a difference. Because remember, when we said mental, we were talking about thinking. Emotional is more about expressing. There is a saying that, big boys don't cry. So young kids, young boys, if they have in their mind that, oh, if I cry, I will be seen as a weak person, and they don't cry, means you are not expressing. You are just, going through different emotions, but you are storing them inside. You are not letting it out. Again, in old time, it was said that girls should be seen but not heard, so girls will be quiet, which is totally wrong. However, if that's was the norm in the society, then the young girls are not expressing themselves. They are staying quiet because that's what they are told. So what is happening here? We are hurting where? Emotional health. You have emotions, you are not expressing it. So you see, whether boy or girl, both get hit by one or the other expectation of the society. And when we do not express, we are accumulating. And this accumulation goes on for life, years, decades. By the time the person may realize or person may overcome this, a lot of damage is already done. So what happens when you're not letting the emotion comes out? It's like a dam. It's raining, water level is rising. If you don't open a part of the dam to let some water go, let the pressure be released, the water level goes up, and there could be a point where the dam cannot hold because it's much more than the capacity of the dam. And that's what happens with humans. And then we have a lot of emotional issues, People say, oh, it is mental issue, and then it becomes physical issue, and our life get messed up. And then we say, what happened? And we don't even know where it started. And then we start taking allopathic medicine. And we know that every allopathic medicine, doesn't matter what good it does to you, they all have some or the other side effects. So first we ended up in a problem. Now we are taking remedy which has another problem. So things, multiplies. That means your problem adds on. So if we do not know how to take care of our emotions, whether it is grief, whether it is because of a loss, major change in your life, whatever that may be, lack of self-confidence, self-respect, confidence, all these things we all go through in different ways. So when a person is kind of either too much or too less, eating, sleeping, both not good. If people are, you see anyone pulling away or lonely or just be away from all the friends, family, kind of a normal social behavior, a lack of energy and feeling totally helpless or hopelessness, and no interest in life, something is wrong. If it is not recognized, it can continue. So wellness, of course, it goes the reverse of that. That means one should be able to lead life. We are social animal. We should be able to mix and, mingle and do our regular, what we call the social life. People are not able to relax, like lack of sleep or not enough sleep or combination of stress and other emotional thing. And if they're not able to relax, guess what? The issue gets bigger and bigger. Now, when we talk about spiritual health, much more meaningful, much more powerful. It's a bigger umbrella. It goes much deeper and much wider. It includes your purpose of life, because everybody wants to lead a purposeful life. And, everybody wants to lead a meaningful life. And that could have different dimensions to it. So there has to be a balance between your physical, psychological, the social element. You cannot be just after your physical health and leave everything else aside, or you are just with your, say, friends or family, neighbors and all, and you're neglecting your physical element to it, or emotional element or mental side. So there has to be a balance. And to strike a balance, first thing is one should know how. So, this wisdom is not taught, though it is so much important in our life. So it is very important that we have some kind of exposure, experience of divinity, wholeness, oneness, that we can understand that spiritual health is actually a holistic view. It's a combination of everything, and it includes what we have been talking about, the physical health, the mental and emotional. Because it includes all the elements of physical, mental, emotional, social. So that's why if we can take care of spiritual wellness, everything else is taken care of. You will have a purposeful life, meaningful life. You will have good interaction and oneness, with people around you. And that's what makes us human. So when we are saying health with respect to wholeness, so you can say that health is wholeness where there was one separation, because now it brings together. Oneness where there was once distinct, and now distinction could be because various factors. Distinction could be based on the color of skin, based on region, country, speech or language, many different factors. But that distinction is taking you towards illness. Oneness takes you towards health. We were talking about person may be aloof, person may be just, staying away from social life. And also, how do you say I'm alive? Or how, like, what do we include in that definition? Or how do you define that? So health means aliveness, where once death does not mean physical death. That means like if you're totally disconnected, then that is as good as a dead person, because you are totally disconnected because of some mental, emotional, and other issue, not because of a spiritual issue, reason. So that's why spiritual health brings you all the element that is needed to lead a healthy life with all, oneness, social elements, emotional, mental, physical, everything. And now when we talk about the importance of different levels, the mechanical level we talked about, where the body, sends signals, which is through blood and, which is like a mechanical system. Blood is flowing in our body and transporting different elements, whether it's hormones or other things, to different organs and systems. So it is fast, but when you talk of nervous system, it's faster because it's like electric signal. But when we are talking about electromagnetic, which is, the connectivity tissue, this whole, our body, the skin, forms this connective tissue, which is having, electromagnetic based superconductive signal, which is the fastest. It goes to smallest, the cellular level, to the most remote areas, anywhere where even your veins or where your nerves do not go. So how can we act on this fastest mechanism rather than just staying on the blood, which is mechanical, or nerve, which is electrical level? If we can work directly with this superconductive connective tissue, that will be the best. So we have to understand where the issue is coming from. Now, illness we can define at 3 levels based on Ayurveda: mental, energy, and physiological. So in the reverse order, if you have illness, that means physically you can see whether it's a fever, it's pain, some injury, you can feel it in your body. That is the 6th level. A step back is that there will be symptoms. This is all physical level. Body will give indication something is going wrong. You don't take care, it will end up from 5 to 6. 6th is the illness itself. But before illness, the body does give some symptoms. And before symptoms, why the body starts giving symptoms? Because of some toxins accumulation in our body. And if in our lifestyle there is no detoxing, no fasting or kriyas or yogas or pranayama and other things, toxin keep accumulating. Body gives signal, don't do anything, illness. So what is the step level back, which is still in energy level? So toxin or metabolism, both comes under energy level. So metabolism means there is an imbalance of energy flow. Prana. We talk about Ida and Pingla, the left and the right side. Meridians. So whenever there is imbalance, whenever there is a problem in the energy flow, that's where the metabolism goes haywire. Energy level. Why there is an imbalance in energy? 2 reasons, which comes as mental level. Number two is your lifestyle, your eating habits, nutrition, diet, all that thing, how much, how frequently, how much time you are taking to eating, you're gulping or eating. Lifestyle also means, are you connected to nature, means Panchbhutas? Is there any physical activity or no? And number one is the thought. That means, how do we think? Positive, negative? We can easily work on our thoughts with meditation, affirmation, breathing, yoga, meditation, gratitude, forgiveness. All those elements can help. So if we want to talk about how to stay healthy, and when we have talked so much about Ayurveda, so we'll start and continue with Ayurveda. So the first thing what we can introduce in our life is the preaching or wisdom out of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is, you can say, alternate medicine. This was, thousands of years ago. A lot of different ways is there described in Ayurveda. It includes like your pranayam, meditation, includes diet, includes kriyas, includes a lot of treatment procedures that can keep you healthy. As we were talking about, the very basic thing we can do. We are not asking something rocket science or something that someone may feel it's too difficult. How can I do? Stay with nature, Panchbhuta. Doesn't matter where you live, whether it is too hot, too cold, too much rain, doesn't matter. You can still be with nature, means go out in fresh air, go out under the sky, enjoy water, whether it is beach, whether it is, just a river, stream, whatever way, whichever works for you. Earth, very critical element. Walk bare feet. If not, you can use, the earthing mat. Earthing mat is something which is of different size available, you can order, and it is connected to the grounding pin of your power outlet. You can put it under your laptop if you're working like office work, so your hands will touch when you are working on the desk. Or put it under your feet if you can, with no socks, no shoes, just put your feet on it. So there is an ion exchange taking place. That's how when you walk on grass or whatever, directly in contact with the earth, the ion exchange takes place. If you cannot, such kind of mat is, the nearest possibility. So you see that like animals, they stay healthy. They are in direct contact with Panchbhutas most of the time. Whereas we are always wearing socks or shoes or something which is insulating us. We are not in contact. There are different elements of naturopath, either again diet-wise or treatment-wise, that we can do without any issue. There are different simple ways of keeping the toxins away, which is detox, Jalneti, cleansing your whole nasal passage, Kunjal, cleansing your whole stomach, and then you can do enema, which is for intestine, or Shank Prakshalan, a very simple kriya which cleans all three, right from your mouth to stomach and intestine. It cleanses all this. You can do once a month. Learn and do it. You don't need, once you learn, it's very simple. You can do on your own. Now, once we do naturopathic or yoga or pranayama or Ayurveda, there are in Ayurveda specifically, because I just did 3 weeks of Ayurvedic session, so which I'll show you the result. Different kind of uh, massages or oil bath or mud bath or hydrotherapy, reflexology, acupressure, or any of those, steam bath, mix of different naturopathic, Ayurvedic treatment. It detox your body. Of course, diet is a big part of detox. So fasting, some people, it's very popular now. They do like, they will either 16 hours, 8-hour kind of slot, intermittent fasting, or they would say once a week, or, okay, 3 days fasting twice a year, whatever works for you. Now, fasting is not just about eating, but also your thoughts. So when you're doing fasting, try to stay away from, the social media. Try to stay away from the electronic, digital media. Also cleanse your thoughts. It's not just the physical part. So let me show you in 3 weeks, a big difference. So like I've shared before, I have BioWell device, which can measure the energy. So before this Ayurvedic treatment, if you see here, this is before, on the right side is after. The important thing is the energy level, which we'll see in the next slide also, 61 joules. And here, 49. Now, what is the significance of 61 or 49? So for BioWell, the normal range is 40 to 60. So someone can say, oh, 61 is just above green, means you're getting into yellow zone, because you're just exceeding the green zone. So you're on top of green zone. Is it not good? Well, if you are an Olympic athlete or someone who needs to do a lot of physical or some other activity, and you are at 61, maybe. For a normal person, the question does come, okay, you certainly green, but why on the high end of the spectrum? There could be different reasons, but why? If the range is 40 to 60, the middle, the ideal range is 50. Sweet spot. And that's what happened right after the treatment. Boom, 49. Consistently, it used to be 61, and now 61 means it could be 58, 59, 60, 61, doesn't matter, a couple of points plus or minus. And straight away, coming to the sweet spot. Looking from the energy scan means it has the area energy, but ultimately the energy in different systems and all. And as you just saw, like it was 60, means you can see it's right around the green zone. But after that, you are coming in the middle. 50 means you're right in the middle. Of course, some systems will be up and down because it's an average, but it's not that everything is, ballooning like on the edge. No other difference. The only difference, detox. 3 weeks, day and night. There's no, even in allopathy, there is no medicine which can guarantee that, okay, in a couple of weeks you do and this happens. Looking at the meridians, because it looks from meridians, or like we say, Ida Pingla, Nadi system. A lot of yellows means high energy. And here, just one, which is also the border of like 60 zone, but here, lots. What does it mean? It has balanced, it has dropped. That means, it's like you're always driving a car at 200 kilometers per hour versus now you're at 100. Or you're not in overdrive mode, put it that whichever way. But the point is, your body is working more effectively. Let's look from the allopathic side, all the different systems, and especially digestion system, because that was one of my aims. You see a lot of yellows before, and hardly you see 1 and 1, 2, which is also just about 6. No side effect, no nothing. So simple things which are available, we can do, we neglect, and then over period, small thing can become big. Another way of staying healthy, placebo. Have one. Think big. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't cost you to have a placebo. It can really impact your outcome because it's your perception. You're tuning your mind. Rather than lack, consider abundance. Rather than all the negativity, I cannot do this is too hard, or I will never be able to. Switch to the positive side and have some placebo. Yes, this is whatever it could be. It could be a thing, it could be an event, it could be whatever. Make use, because placebo is linked to your brain, your perception, your processing. So when you have any placebo that you can make use of it, it will help you. It will take you in the direction, whatever your aim is. Now, when we are talking about aim, and placebo is like a catalyst, it's taking you there. So the next natural thing comes is affirmation. Have some affirmation. I mean, it costs you nothing in wishing for some, whatever you want. That's your affirmation. Of course, don't make mistake. Learn how to form the proper affirmative sentence. In the previous session, we talked about 3 Ps to take care of it. But once you have it and you are making use of it every day, this is free of cost. This is not much effort. Once done, you are drawing the event in your life. Doesn't matter it is health, relationship, job, whatever. Considering health, which includes everything, which is mental, emotional, physical, social, everything. So you see, you can have affirmation which are drawing the event in your life. Write it, because when you're writing it, it goes in the the zone of the brain where it helps, because when you're writing, you are creating more neurons. The connectivity is getting stronger and stronger because your hand movements and all the way it works, because you are writing repeatedly rather than just verbally speaking or thinking about it. That's why the writing increases the power of it. And couple of affirmations, how long it's going to take to write? You don't need anyone. There is no restriction what you can ask, what you cannot, and you see the result. Now, we don't communicate with ourselves, with our body, because someone can say, hey, nobody taught me this. Never, when I was a kid or anyone, nobody taught me how to talk to your, my own body. This is a problem. The body is giving you signal, but we are unable sometimes to understand, recognize those signals. And we miss that information, the critical information. So, how to talk to our body? There's one thing which we keep talking, but it is very difficult. Live in the moment. You have to talk to your body. You can only talk when you live in the moment. When I'm eating, but my mind is in TV or reading or something, multitasking, I think I'll be more efficient. No, actually, you're losing from both sides. Live in the moment will give you the power that you can feel your body, you can listen to your body, you can appreciate what the body is trying to tell you. Otherwise, you ignore, you miss. So it's very important that in 24 hours, you should have me time, half an hour, 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever is appropriate for you. That time is your time. No one else can come in between. Yes, family is important, work is important, but leave the rest 23 hours for that. At least have some time for you. Because ultimately, what matters for any person is the person himself or herself. Doesn't matter how much you love others and all. If you cannot take care of yourself, you cannot take care of anyone. That's the simple truth. Now, when you will talk to yourself, you will learn a lot of things. Like we were talking about, Ayurveda, we were talking about all those things. There are simple things we are just not aware. One example, in our body, there is a 3-point system, which actually we can do a whole session on this. 3-point system, your jaws, your hip, and your feet. Such critical thing, which hardly we know in the depth that we should know about it. You may grind your teeth, you may be snoring, you may have, jaw or other body pain, you may have a spinal issue. Some, and we think it's a nerve in the spine or this and that, but it may be coming from this jaw interaction. So there's a very simple device called Mojo. Mojo is nothing but, it's a plastic kind of device and appliance, or they call it simple thing. You can insert and do some little exercises with it. All it does is it aligns, it releases pressure. The jaw, which seems so simple thing, is actually very complex in terms of the connectivity with the nerves, muscles, and the whole body. So people say, oh, the person snore. Well, if you are snoring, there is a reason, and there is an impact to the body. There's no medicine, you take this tablet, it can go away. But these simple things like Mojo, M-O-J-O, I'm talking about, it not just releases the pressure and all the things that you are having here, it having a big impact on your spinal cord, the nerves that are going through. And we all know that if anything happens in your spine, the signal, the nerves, how painful or how critical it could be. Now, it does not end there. This 3-point system is also important for your balance of hormones in the body. And you can imagine that if there is any issue with the hormone, any one of them, it impacts your overall health. So rather than running here and there, just understanding and taking care, and it's a non-moving, it's just a simple insert, and you do certain exercises, and it balances, it brings the body in right optimum health. So you see, these simple things which we are not aware, all of a sudden you come to know about it and you say, wow, wonderful. Why no one, told me about this? Things that can align, that can fix the systems, the body, the nerves, and all those things, muscles. Otherwise, small pinching points, and it creates a lot of havoc. So what we have to do is, in terms of this me time, talking to our body, one thing which is very, very critical is volunteering. So volunteer your time. When you volunteer, You increase the self-esteem, self-respect, self-confidence because you feel good about yourself. Of course, the breathing, pranayama, meditation, all, and the yoga and sukshma yoga. That means up yoga or stretching exercise, if you call it. All these four certainly is very, very critical. If you can do nothing, just do sukshma yoga, the stretching. The yoga will do wonders in your life. But again, take it as part of your connecting to the body, improve, live in the moment, part of your life. Spend time in nature. Have some hobby. Hobby is very critical. Again, hobby brings you close to your body, your mind, who you are. So if you want to start, simple questions. Just ask yourself, what makes you feel most complete? And again, this is specifically you, so don't copy paste. For one person could be just when I'm in nature walking in the garden. Other person could be that when I'm gardening, and someone else could be I'm volunteering or I'm doing this, whatever that is. There's no right or wrong. It is you. Individual, you have your own learning, spiritual learning in this life. So find out what is it that makes you most complete. Think about, when do you feel most connected to the rest of the world? What are those, either situations or combination of things that you feel most connected? Where do you find the most inner strength? What are those factors, things, events, or what happen? When? Imagine or think about the last time when you were feeling whole. What were you doing? What do you do when you have that kind of positive energy? This will tell you what to work on. Because whatever is making you feel most complete, you should be connected to that. You should feel that more often. The more you feel complete, more hours in a day you feel complete, more the divinity, the feeling of the true love and fulfillment, all those things will keep on increasing. The more and more you feel complete, the more you are connected to the rest of the world, the better you will feel. Your spiritual health will be much, much better. So find out, and whatever makes you do that, do more of that. And certainly whatever is taking you away from that, don't do that. So this cannot be a copy paste scenario. It's not like my brother has this, I must also have this. No, you two are different individuals. So masters, please do some introspection, talk to yourself, ask and find out the answer. And you will get a starting point that, okay, by doing this, I feel whole. I feel the oneness. And that's what is the starting point, and then continue the journey. So this is how you can use this information to improve your spiritual health, means overall health. So masters, if you have any question on what we went through today, please feel free to ask. If you have any experience of yours regarding any of this or anything else related to spiritual health or otherwise, please feel free to share. So back to you, Ashokji.
Yeah, Masters, anyone has any questions or any?
Yeah, this is Varna.
Yeah, so
Thank you, Gaurav sir. Thank you so much. Beautiful topic. Health is always a top top of everybody's list. So yeah, and balancing our emotions, thoughts is very very important. That's what I've been contemplating and watching out, and why we are, sometimes we feel so peace, and sometimes we feel very low, and some all negative thoughts comes, anger, jealous on someone. So that time mind is playing a game. It comes and tells you, hey, don't feed your husband, he's just not helping you, why are you doing so? That time all the mind will goes in a different direction. So that time we have to think like oneness, you know so with the oneness in the mind, doesn't matter at 1 minute, 2 minutes it may take, just give and have a peaceful life. And also you feel like you have showed oneness quality. But instead, oh no, I don't want to, because he needs to learn his lesson, or I'm not receiving anything. And if we act from that talk, then that day we won't be happy. You go, energy levels will be low. So I started introspecting, and yeah, just that's okay. You have time, right? They may not have time. So everybody are different. So how you behave, the other people don't need to behave. How you act, others cannot act. So what you want to act, that can only you can control. So if it's not a big deal, just go ahead and do it and finish, and you do your work. All right. So also at your peace, always we are doing again at our peace, not at somebody else's peace. Forgiveness, or doing help, everything we have to see at a peace level. And when we have oneness in our mind, the truth, then always we don't deviate, and always we live in a peaceful. So yeah, thank you very much, Doroji, and wonderful topic. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you, Ashok sir.
thank you. So
Thank you, Gauraji. Thank you. Good to see you, and Ashokji also. I got a couple of questions. These days everybody is so sensitive. Being politically correct. You have to be politically correct. So even though you want to express, you have to put some filters, right? I mean, you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings, and those filters could be looked at inhibiting you to, even though you want to help the other person or help yourself, whatever, you are trying to say something, but you have to hold back at times. And it's a very complex, when you do the social interactions, that honesty, genuineness, authenticity, when you really come out like that, people either put you in a separate bucket and say, hey, this guy is outspoken, and you should avoid this fellow, or we don't want to ask his opinions. So you get into that. So how do you balance that thing? Because people are basically, they're settling for, especially the younger generation, they're settling for the social media, where you don't have no reaction coming from the other side. You make people, you meet people, they suddenly become very good friends. You have never seen them. You don't even know who they are. And when you are trying to interact with the people at the basic human level and trying to express yourself and share and care, that. So I think it's uh, so people automatically, when they try to use the filters, as you said, you're holding back, and it's the dam, water analogy, water in the dam, you're holding back. At what point it's going to burst? That's an interesting dilemma.
No, that is absolutely true, Pinderji, and it is becoming more and more prominent in today's lifestyle, and especially the social media influence on our life. And one of the factor is that people don't write and now so lazy that we just rely on emojis even, forget even texting. And so it's taking away that human touch. But one thing is, to your original question, is what I have observed, and it's hard, but what I'm following is, if someone is not asking my opinion, then in simple words, keep your mouth shut. I mean, that's what I'm telling myself, right? Unless somebody is asking, don't go and preach. And that is sometimes difficult, because I know this person is in pain. I know if this part or this wisdom or something, if I share, it can help. But if the person is not asking for it, probability is way high of the other person rejecting than accepting things. And then every time you go, then as you said, there will be, you will be labeled as, okay, here comes the preacher, or here comes this, or here comes whatever, right? Depending on the situation. Whereas if we can hold back sharing or preaching everyone, and only give advice when asked, this is one step which can really help everyone. First is yourself, because you're not getting hurt. So this is what I've seen. The pain is only initially when you're holding back and you think, I can help this person. But no, everyone has their own soul plan, their purpose of life, their journey. We should not interfere in others' journey. If they have planned for suffering and this way they're going to learn, so be it. But the problem is, the closer the person to you in relation, the higher the pain. If kids or parents, and you feel like, no, I must tell my kids this, or I must tell my parents, or either way, it works the same way, that minimize it from our side, giving advice to others unless asked.
Yeah, one thing I learned, I just want to close this, that when you give free advice, it's not appreciated. Same thing you charge, they say, oh my God, what a great advice you're given. So I think might as well become a professional to make money, I guess. Thank you so much.
Thanks for sharing, Benji. And same thing is, Swarnaji, as you were mentioning, the same topic applies to your point also, that we can have that kind of judgment. Then we can minimize the suffering, how others are reacting or not reacting or doing or whatever. Because every person is unique. They have freedom of speech, freedom of emotion and whatnot. In the name of that freedom, we end up hurting each other. So it's better to only speak when requested.
I totally agree, Gauravji. Thank you. Yeah, I am learning that lesson, and I am noticing also slowly. I'm progressing in that truth. Yeah, when I give, oh, he did not eat food since morning, and is busy, and let me go and give food. Then there's no appreciation, or there's nothing. But I don't care. Everybody knows, as Patrici sir says, after 7 years, everybody are like treated as adults, only till 7 or 5, until they can't eat by themselves. Once they eat, they're all be treated as adults. Let them come and ask the food. So I step back and let them come and ask food. So if they ask, hey, can you give me food? Then I definitely go and do. Then I get thank you so much.
Exactly.
So then I'm learning. Thank you so much. Exactly, for everyone, even kids also, it doesn't work. We cannot give after 7 years, no advices. Just you do your sadhana and they will learn from you. Otherwise their karmas. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Okay, just one word. No one is there. Namaste, Polyvodji.
No, sure.
As you rightly said, instead of reacting, respond to the situation. That's all. And when in a group, when talks are going on, people express so many things, and we know certain that what the other person says is not the right thing to do. So we are not able to agree. So instead of confronting, the best thing is, yeah, okay, it is an interesting point of view. Just say that, leave it. This is what another way of doing it. Yes, it's an interesting point of view. So you are neither agreeing nor disagreeing. That's this is the access bars, Gary Douglas method of doing it, and it is working wonders. Many have adopted this. Very simple.
Very true. Very true.
Thank you.
Very true. And one thing certainly I would add, if anybody knows any good Ayurvedic center in North America, yeah, please share the details. Because the way we have set up in Kerala, I'm trying to find out if at all we have anywhere in North America any such center, because it is so helpful. It's unbelievable. But so far, I don't think I've come across certain things. So yeah, if anybody is aware, yeah, please share.
Even naturopathy will be good. Naturopathy is